All right, my friends, settle in, let your breath deepen, and listen closely. Does this sound familiar? That hollow feeling when the words of prayer, so familiar, so rehearsed, just tumble from your lips, but your heart? Your heart remains silent, unmoved. Or perhaps your mind, like a restless child, wanders off to 1,000 different places, leaving you alone with a ritual that feels empty. You stand there. You say the words. Maybe you even try to focus. But inside there's a void, or worse, a whirlwind of thoughts, daily anxieties, and internal chatter that drowns out the quiet whisper of your soul. And you can't help but wonder, is anyone even hearing this? Do these words reach anything beyond the ceiling of this room? Has prayer, this sacred conversation, somehow become just a habit, a formality stripped of its life, its fire? We live in a world, don't we, that's constantly screaming for our attention. A world obsessed with external actions, achievements, visible results. We're conditioned to believe that the more we say, the louder we proclaim, the quicker we'll be noticed, the faster we'll get what we want. And often, without even realizing it, we drag this very same pattern into the most intimate, most sacred corners of our lives, into our communion with the divine, with the universe, with that deep source of all being. We think that the sheer number of prayers recited, the precision of the memorized phrases, that is the key to unlocking some spiritual treasure chest. But what if I told you, my friend, that the true power, the real alchemy of this connection, lies not in the outward show, but in a profound, almost unspeakable inner stillness? What if there's a way to pray that isn't just said, but is lived? A prayer that is born not on the tip of your tongue, but in the very core of your being. This, my friend, is what ancient wisdom traditions often call prayer of the heart, or inner communion, or conscious prayer. And don't let any fancy terms intimidate you. We're not talking about intellectual acrobatics here. We're talking about the awakening of your deepest awareness, the full presence of your inner self. It's a sacred mystery, a moment when you gather your entire being, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, and focus them all into the hallowed space of your heart. And from there, from that quiet, hidden sanctuary, you send forth your silent, potent word to the source of all. This isn't just a shopping list of requests or a formal recitation of praise. No, this is a vibrant, trembling presence, the very breath of your soul, a dance between your spirit and the infinite. Imagine a musician. One can play all the notes perfectly, with flawless technique, yet their music might leave you cold, untouched. Another, perhaps less technically dazzling, plays with such profound feeling, such raw passion, that every note vibrates deep within your soul, bringing tears to your eyes or a smile to your lips, awakening something long dormant within you. It's the same with prayer. You can just say the words. That's like playing the notes without the soul. This is often called verbal prayer, and sadly it frequently remains just a movement of air because the mind is off somewhere else and the heart is asleep. Then there's another level. When you not only say the words but also understand their meaning, your mind follows the text. This is a step forward, certainly. This is mental prayer combined with verbal. It's better than just mumbling, but it's still incomplete. It's like understanding music theory, but not feeling the music's vibration in every cell of your body. But true, full, vibrant prayer. That is a symphony, my friend. It's where words, thoughts, and feelings merge into a single, powerful, flowing river. When your mind clearly sees and understands what your lips are saying, and your heart responds to every thought with a living, trembling emotion, that is when real communion is born. That's when your words gain wings, your thoughts become light, and your feelings ignite a fire capable of melting the ice of any despair. Think about it. Not just asking, but feeling gratitude as if you've already received what you're hoping for. Not just listing your mistakes, but feeling in your heart a genuine sorrow, a burning desire to change, to grow. Not just offering praise, but experiencing a profound awe before the majesty and love of the one you are addressing. That is what it means to pray from the heart. It's when every word of a prayer becomes your own, born from the depths of your personal experience, your pain, your hope, your deepest truth. Sometimes through a special grace, a state arises that can be described as pure heart prayer. It's as if you are not the one praying, but prayer itself is happening within you, moved by an unseen power. By spirit, you are merely a witness to this sacred inner fire. This might be the experience of those who have journeyed long on the spiritual path, but the very possibility of such a state points to the incredible, often untapped potential hidden within each and every one of us. And there's yet another wondrous state, often called standing before God or conscious presence. Imagine you've dived so deep into this inner quiet, into this heart space, that you begin to feel that divine presence, not somewhere far away in the heavens, but right here, right now, within you and all around you. And this awareness gives birth to a whole spectrum of feelings, a reverent awe at its immensity, an unshakable faith and trust, an all-consuming love and devotion, a readiness to surrender everything. This state comes to those who persistently and sincerely practice prayer with word, mind, and heart. And at first, these might be fleeting moments, glimpses of light, but with time, they can become more frequent, last longer, until finally, they can transform into a constant underlying awareness, a walking with God, or living in continuous connection. This is that unceasing prayer the mystics spoke of, where your whole life, every action, every thought, becomes infused with this sense of divine presence. As the psalmist David said, "I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved." What incredible strength, what unshakable support is hidden in this. So do you truly desire your prayer to be fruitful, to be more than empty words, to become a source of strength, comfort, and transformation? Then never ever limit yourself to just saying the words. Pray with your whole being, with your mind, understanding, realizing, with your heart, feeling, experiencing, and especially with your heart. A prayer that bursts forth from the depths of the heart is like a lightning bolt. It instantly pierces all barriers and reaches the very throne of love. It is to such prayer that the divine listens most intently, to such prayer that grace inclines. Remember Moses at the Red Sea when his people were in despair, surrounded by enemies. His silent cry from the heart was heard, and the answer came immediately, bringing strength and salvation. But how, you ask? How can I learn to pray like this? The answer, my friend, is both simple and profound. Learn to pray this way, and you will learn, just as you learn to read by diligently working with letters and syllables. Just as you learn to write by practicing strokes and curves, so too here. Begin to pray not just with words, but with your mind, and most importantly, with your heart, and you will master this sacred art. You know the words of many prayers. They've been passed down through ages, collected in sacred texts. These are not just random words. They are the concentrated experience of souls who burned with love for the divine, the very essence of their spiritual quest. A mighty prayerful spirit is encapsulated within them, and if you read them with full attention, with an open heart, this spirit will begin to fill you too. It's like reading the work of a great author. You become imbued with their thoughts, their mood, their world. In the same way, you absorb the spirit of prayer. But everyone does that, you might object. People pick up their prayer books, they read. Why doesn't it work for everyone? Ah, my dear friend, because many do it mechanically. Their minds are wandering off in 1,000 directions. Their hearts are preoccupied with trivial concerns. But you, when you approach prayer, consciously bring your mind into the words you are speaking, and with your heart, absorb their meaning, their energy, and you will immediately feel the difference. You'll sense a living response within your soul. This is within your power. You have the words. You understand what it means to feel. Therefore, success is in your hands. Work at it, don't be lazy, and you will surely succeed. Let me offer you a few keys, if you will, to help you unlock this treasure chest of inner prayer. These aren't rigid rules, but rather guiding lights on the path to your own heart. The first key is preparation outside of your dedicated prayer time. Find some quiet moments during your day to slowly read through the prayers you usually use. Ponder each word, each phrase. Try to genuinely feel the states of being they describe. What do they mean to you personally? What chords do they strike in your soul? When you do this in advance, then during your actual prayer time, it will be much easier to enter the desired state. The thoughts and feelings associated with the prayer will already be familiar to your consciousness, and the words will flow from you as if they are being born in your heart in that very moment. The second key is to learn some prayers by heart. Yes, that's right. Not like a school poem to be recited, but like a beloved song that lives within you. When prayers are only in a book, they are, in a sense, external to you. But when you internalize them, they become your inner possession. You carry your prayer book within your heart, and you can turn to it at any moment, in any circumstance. Moreover, the process of memorizing, if accompanied by reflection and feeling, imprints the prayerful thoughts and states even more deeply in your soul. This gradually cultivates an inner prayerful disposition, like an inner melody of the soul. The third key is the immediate preparation right before you begin to pray. Don't just rush into prayer from your busy activities as if you're diving in head first. Pause. Be still for a few moments until your feelings settle, as ancient wisdom teaches. Remind yourself of the sacred act you're about to undertake. Who are you preparing to pray? And who or what is that divine presence to whom you will speak? What do you wish to express, and how? This is especially important in the morning, when the soul might still be heavy from sleep, and the mind is already ambushed by the day's concerns. And in the evening, when consciousness is filled with the day's impressions, the noise of events, both pleasant and unpleasant. Try to release all of it, to clear an inner space so that prayer can wholly occupy it. If some strong impressions linger, turn them into the subject of your prayer. Offer thanks, ask for help, or surrender everything to that higher will. The fourth key is to consciously step into that sense of divine presence. Before you even begin to utter the words, try to feel that God, the universe, the source is here, near, seeing you, hearing you. Cultivate in your heart a living faith that this presence does not turn away from you, but lovingly gazes upon your soul in this sacred hour. Open yourself to the hope that your sincere request will be answered, if it is truly for your highest good. This isn't self-hypnosis. It's tuning your inner receiver to its frequency. The fifth key is the prayer itself, filled with attention and feeling. Speak the words of your prayer, immersing yourself completely in them, taking care that they come from your very heart as your own, even if they are memorized. Don't allow your attention to scatter or your thoughts to fly away. As soon as you realize your mind has wandered, and it will inevitably, gently, without self-judgment, bring it back and resume from the point where you lost focus. Notice this important truth. Attention doesn't scatter when the heart is filled with prayerful feeling. Therefore, cultivate those feelings above all. And don't rush. Prayer is not a race, it is a sacred act. Live each word, each moment, with patience and reverence. The sixth key is openness to spontaneous prayer. If while reciting familiar prayers, a particular thought, a certain word, resonates deeply within your heart, captures your attention, and evokes a personal, living response, don't let that moment pass you by. Pause. Allow that feeling to unfold. Pray in your own words, words that flow from the depths of your soul, until that inner movement subsides, until you feel a sense of release or completion. These are precious moments when a memorized prayer becomes a springboard for your own unique, intimate conversation with the divine. The seventh key is to maintain that prayerful state after you finish praying. When you put in the effort to pray in this way, you'll carry forth a special state of soul, light, peaceful, full. Try to preserve it for as long as possible. Don't immediately plunge back into ordinary activities. Don't think that by reciting your usual prayers you've finished your God duty for the day and can now let your thoughts and passions run wild. No, strive throughout the day to maintain that sense of His presence as if you were still in prayer. Remember that you walk in that presence, that its hand supports you, and perform every task, big or small, as that presence would intend, asking for blessing and directing everything to its glory. By doing so, you can carry that good prayerful mood right through to your evening prayer. And by performing your evening prayer with the same mindfulness, you will sleep peacefully. And there you have a whole day lived in a good, prayerful state. And the eighth key, but certainly not the least, is consistency and patience. If today you pray well, maintain that state, but tomorrow you let yourself go, spend the day distractedly and superficially, you will never make progress. It's like building a house with one hand and tearing it down with the other. You could even reach a point where prayer completely fades from your soul and your heart becomes unresponsive to it. Once you start on this path, you must patiently persevere, without slackening, without indulging yourself, without looking for shortcuts or excuses. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And right here, my dear friend, when you begin to work in this way, when prayer from the depths of your heart becomes not a rare guest but a vital need, you will notice something astonishing. Your soul itself will begin to pour forth in its own words. Not because you'll be trying to compose something beautiful or clever. Oh no, that would be a product of ego and would only stifle the true voice of your heart. But because the experiences, needs, joys, and sorrows, insights, and questions arising within you will themselves seek expression in the sacred dialogue. This can happen during your recitation of familiar prayers, as we've discussed, or when reading sacred texts or inspiring books, when a thought suddenly illuminates you, touches your very heart, or during contemplation of the majesty of the universe, the mysteries of life, the infinite divine love and wisdom, or simply in the middle of your day when an event, an encounter, a random thought suddenly awakens in you this impulse to lift your heart to the highest. Do not ignore these sudden calls. Stop for a moment, pause whatever you're doing, and respond to this call of your soul. These are signs that prayer has begun to take root in your heart, to fill it with its light. This is evidence of your progress on this path. And the more frequently such inner movements arise, the more fully the spirit of prayer will dwell within you. Sometimes it will be just an urge, a vague desire to express something, and you will need to find the words yourself. And at other times, oh, the wonder of it. The words will be born on their own, easily and naturally, as if someone unseen is whispering them to your heart. In the first case, work to clothe your feelings in words. In the second, simply listen and do not obstruct this flow. And if you are blessed with such an experience, when prayer is born within you spontaneously, know this: it may be a glimpse of that true spiritual prayer moved by the Spirit itself. It's a sign that you are approaching the perfection accessible to you. Give thanks for this, but also be even more mindful on your journey. Proceed with even greater awe and humility. For the more precious the treasure, the more intensely envious eyes may covet it. Remember, my friend, this path, the path of the heart, is open to everyone. It doesn't require special talents, only a sincere desire, patience, and a willingness to put in the effort. Start today. Start small, with one word spoken from your whole heart, with 1 minute of silence dedicated to this inner presence. And you will see how your life begins to change, filling with new meaning, light, and the inexpressible joy of communion with that which always awaits you in the stillness of your heart. Ask yourself this question right now. What is my soul truly longing for? What is the one word, the one feeling I would want to express from my deepest core? Don't put it off. Allow that word, that feeling to be born. And let this be the first step on your amazing journey to the prayer of the heart, to an encounter with your truest self and with the infinite. Your potential is vast. Your soul is capable of incredible depth. Open yourself to this, and you will find a strength, a peace, and a love that surpass all understanding.